Hello and welcome back to a special episode of LoanOfficerPodcast.com. I'm your host, Chris Johnstone, and today we're going to talk about artificial intelligence absolutely transforming your business. I cannot implore you enough to pay attention not only to this episode, but to order the new book, AI 101. You can get it by going to loaibook.com. You'll opt in there and then it'll take you to Amazon. The book is $9.99 on Amazon, and it gives you access to a full video library that goes along with every chapter in the book. And it is designed to get you from not knowing anything about artificial intelligence or being moderately, even advanced level user, and walking you through implementing AI in your mortgage business in a way where it actually moves the needle and helps you to produce closed funded loans in your business. No income guarantees, but it shows you how to effectively market to your database every week, provide value, and ask for referrals. It shows you how to reach out to all of your past referral partners that haven't sent you a deal recently, reconnect with them, provide value, and ask for referrals consistently. It also shows you how to take new qualified realtor partners and unqualified realtor partners and put them in a sequence so that every week you're providing real-time value to them and asking them for referrals. It does a lot more than that. It also shows you how to generate referrals and deals from the deals that you have in process. So as soon as you get a lead or you get a pre-qualification with a new client, how to turn that into more closings from those relationships, but also more referrals through the process. And AI is woven into every single one of those processes, creating the content and building your authority with the AI while creating the content, structuring it so that it looks amazing and it's on brand for you and your brand, helping to send it to all of those contacts, keeping them organized through the process. So when you go into your CRM, everything is where it's supposed to be. And it's very easy to navigate, find the people that you need to communicate with, and communicate en masse in a very short period of time. And then it shows you how to automate all the messages. So when people call your phone number, AI picks up your phone and has that conversation. When people text back to your phone number, that text is automatically handled and answered by the AI. When somebody emails into your business, that email is taken, then a response is written with the perfect script, perfect response, and sent back to that client. And that is just a sliver of what an AI-powered loan officer can do. And what we're doing in today's episode is showing you what is possible right now and giving that as a frame of reference for what's coming in the future, because it has never been more evident. And I have talked to many very high-level people in the mortgage industry. These are CEOs, chief marketing officers, chief technology officers, people at some of the largest national names that you know. And we're having conversations about AI, and they are right where you are. They are like, we cannot believe how powerful this is. We cannot believe how fast it's moving. I can't believe it can do that. And they are paying and they are moving to apply artificial intelligence to every single process that happens in the mortgage business. We tend to think about lead gen and closing more loans, right? Because that's where our money comes from in the consumer direct channel of like, let's go get a mortgage customer and close a mortgage. But there is so much else. Obviously, AI is not scripted this for me. But there's so much else in the mortgage industry that's happening behind the scenes. Like, how do you step somebody through the pre-qualification process at 8 o'clock at night when they need a pre-approval letter with a real estate agent because they want to put an offer in on the house? How do you make it so that the loan officer doesn't have to be involved in that process, but also gets to close that loan and win that customer? Absolutely, there are systems that can be deployed right now that I know how to implement that can take that mortgage pre-qualification and get enough confidence to be able to issue back a pre-qualification letter to that person and say, hey, look, there's a 99% chance and you can go ahead with this deal, and this company is willing to back it up because they're willing to invest and back the AI infrastructure. That exists right now. The other thing that you look at is once that application comes in, the underwriting process. My goodness, if you think about the most repetitive and frustrating yet rules-based, guideline-based system that's out there, mortgage underwriting is perfect for disruption with artificial intelligence and having it learn from all of the previous underwriting that's been done in the company to be able to do it lightning fast in minutes compared to days and spit out a really well done file, right? Think about appraisals and the AI going in and being a part of the appraisal process and standardizing that. Look at actually selling the loans out the back end, packaging them together and having that moved to Wall Street. Arguably, there is so much margin compression that can happen in our business outside of customer acquisition. And the smart CEOs and the smart innovators in our industry are looking at all of these processes and even more. And so if you're sitting on the sidelines and you haven't even leaned in on like, how can AI help me with a PDF to follow up on a client after I meet with them? Or how can AI learn my brand so that I can consistently communicate to my database to try and shelter myself from all of these servicing companies now putting AI systems in place in order to action on trigger alerts and go out after your database and your leads. This is absolutely a race, and I see it clear as day. I've been through many cycles, so with the gift of the amount of time that I've spent in the mortgage industry, I've gone through major technology revolutions like moving from the pager and the fax machine to text messaging and smartphones and emails to the internet and online applications, and everybody saying nobody will ever do their banking online because it's unsecure, to now our entire banking infrastructure is now legislation's being passed. It's going to be blockchain based and crypto based. It was just announced this month that, or of the recording of this podcast, that this month that they are now accepting crypto as securities to underwrite loans. So now we're living in a blockchain-based, crypto-enabled, AI-powered lending world. And absolutely the people here in our community, and thank you for being a part of my community, I am at the very front edge, learning, testing, stubbing my toe, and running headfirst into this technology as best I possibly can, powered with the best team that we can put together, because I believe that this is the next massive tipping point for our industry. And the loan officers that are AI powered are going to have an absolutely unfair advantage over others that aren't. It's that big of a deal. Yes, the majority of funded mortgage deals, I believe the number is 87%. Don't quote me on that because I don't have it in front of it, but it's definitely over 80%. Over 80% of funded mortgage deals come from referrals. And I see a lot of people using that to dismiss artificial intelligence. Like, we're in a referral-based business, right? You're never going to be able to replace relationships. That is true. But I don't think you're ever going to be able to compete with a loan officer that has the speed of artificial intelligence and the quality of communication of artificial intelligence and the professionalism and the reports and the data behind artificial intelligence, the consistent, never missed, always on time follow-up that AI produces. It's just a gap that you can't reach over with the referrals that you get when you're competing against somebody that's powered by AI. Which leads us here to the next part of our conversation, because it's not just our industry that's being powered by artificial intelligence. It's our consumers, it's our customers. So before, we were the gateway. You may or may not remember back in the day when the MLS system was a book. And if somebody wanted information about real estate, you had to go to a real estate office or have a real estate agent come to your house, which everybody knew was a sales pitch, right? And the real estate agent held the book that held all of the listings. If you wanted access to the real estate market, you had to go through a real estate agent because they had the information. Well, we all know now, if you go to ChatGPT and you compare that experience of knowledge and research and information and unbiased opinions, it's likely that if you talk to 5 loan officers out there, the AI is going to give at least as good, if not better, responses and research and reports than probably 3, maybe even 4 of the 5 loan officers that they talk to. And what that immediately does to our consumer is it creates this pivot point where they begin to trust the artificial intelligence more than us as advisors. And what that instantly does to our industry is it turns us from advisors and educators and trusted guides along the process to a commodity with a product that has a price. And as soon as we enter that realm, if we allow that to happen, it's a race to the bottom, and it's a race to price. And so I believe that empowering yourself with AI and being the loan officer that is doubling down right now on speaking to artificial intelligence about what the pain points and what the knowledge gap is with our consumers, and creating content and teaching the artificial intelligence what you know about the mortgage business and how we help customers and consumers. And then when the AI answers that person and cites you as the source of that information, I believe that's bigger than Google Leads and having customers come from Google. I believe that ChatGPT and Claude, Claude, we're going to have some serious conversations about this in the future. But Grok, Gemini, Copilot, you name it, these are all replacing Google. Personal assistants in our homes, attached to our devices, and very soon, heads up on our glasses and all of these other wonderful things, they're going to replace people going and asking questions to Google. And if you can be the advisor that is referred by the artificial intelligence, you will absolutely, in my opinion, be delivered leads that are pre-sold on working with you, believe that you are the expert, that call you ready to buy, and they're ready to submit an application and move forward with that loan. And that is where I feel we need to be leaning in on creating the content and becoming the AI-powered loan officer. Now, you can learn how to do that by going to loaiclass.com. Every Friday at noon Eastern Standard Time, I do a 1-hour mastermind session with our community, mainly of people that have bought the book. But it's an open Zoom call. It's totally free. And I turn on my computer screen and we have a theme every week of something that we're doing with AI. And then I work live in front of everybody. Imperfect, screens freeze, things break, we fix them. But by the end, we've taken an AI tool from just the very beginnings of signing up for whatever it is, or implementing whatever it is, and actually having it launched out. A good example of that, last week we did client personas, where we went into your AI account, ChatGPT or Claude, and said, hey, act as my brand consultant and interview me and ask me all the questions that you need in order to build the brand file that runs all my communication. And it is a Harvard-educated or Harvard-esque educated output that finds your brand persona